Hello, everyone. My name is Alaa Hammouda, and I am originally from Gaza Strip. I currently live in the United States with my family, and I would like to start by thanking everyone for all your great work, for uplifting the Gazan, and for trying to help and support our families during those very horrific and difficult times. It really means the world to us. Seeing the great work and looking at the great work from far that you're doing to try to save my family is really heartwarming. During the times when I have almost lost hope, I have seen what each one of you is doing to try to save families who are dying in Gaza. My name is Alaa Hammouda, and I am originally from Gaza Strip. I have moved to the United States with my family almost 5 years ago. And I will start talking a little bit about my life in Gaza before I moved to the US. And then I'll talk about my family in Gaza now. I personally survived 3 wars when I was in Gaza, and in every war, unfortunately, there was a loss. I lost family members. I lost 2 beautiful cousins who were 8 and 10 playing football in front of their houses. I lost my house. I lost my farm, and I lost so many beloved friends. Life in Gaza has been always hard, even before this war, with limited amount of electricity, just 3 to 4 hours of electricity every day. Drinking very, very polluted water. I remember giving my kids that dusty, yellowish, polluted water, knowing that they will get sick. But as a mother, I had no other options. But the hardest feeling is about being a Gazan always is the feeling of insecurity. You really, really don't know when it's your turn to be bombed and die. You really don't know if you're gonna make it or not. Honestly, there is no future in Gaza because there is a constant bombing, and you can't plan for future knowing that you might be the next person to be bombed and killed. So living all that trauma and being a Gazan myself and watching what's happening in Gaza now is the worst feeling any human being could experience. During those very difficult times, I've been trying to do anything I can to save my family and evacuate them out of Gaza, hoping that they can make it out and survive. My family is originally from the north. I have 4 brothers and 3 sisters. I have my 2 sisters-in-laws and their whole families, and 2 brothers-in-laws and their families. My dad and my mother-in-law are all in Gaza Strip now. My family and my husband's family have been all displaced from their houses in the north, and they were forced to go to the safe area, what's called the safe area, which is not safe at all. And since October, they were forced to move more than 7 times now. And every time they build a tent, they stay there for a couple of days or weeks, and then bombings start falling on their heads. So they have to run for their lives again, leaving everything behind. They lost their houses in the north. We have lost more than 30 family members so far. We lost cousins, we lost uncles-in-laws, we lost friends, we lost beloved neighbors, we lost houses, and we lost our farms. But the feeling of uncertainty and that phone ring of who's going to be next, are we going to mourn more, is the most difficult feeling that I'm facing currently. Watching my family in the north and in the south starve to death while being bombed every single moment is really a difficult feeling. I am gonna talk a little bit about the difficult conditions that my family is facing. My family is all living in tents now. Some of them are living in Khan Yunis after they were forced to flee for their lives while the tents were burning in Rafah. And some moved to Deir al-Balah, and they're living in a tent, sometimes 9 people, sometimes 10 people, and sometimes more. a tent that is not even enough for one person. They're crowded in this summer with nothing to sleep on. They're just sleeping on the floor, barely any food. Mostly they're eating bread and canned food and drinking very, very polluted water in this heat. Garbage is everywhere, trash is everywhere, sewage is everywhere. Mosquitoes and bugs and rats and snakes are spreading in the tents. But that's not the worst feeling. The worst feeling is sleeping in a tent with your kids while not knowing if you're gonna make it the next morning or not. And this is what I hear from my family. There's a lot of people who have been killed in their area, and from the tents where they're staying while they were sleeping, bombs started falling on their lives and killing them. Again, I really want to thank you all for everything you're doing to save my family. And I know that we cannot save everyone in Gaza, and during those very difficult time, we must all feel drained, and we must all feel very tired of what's happening there and feel very helpless, as I am feeling very helpless, very powerless, very hopeless. But believe me, the impact you're making in my family and in the Gazan family's life is phenomenal. Because of the fundraiser and because of the previous fundraiser that we did for my brother, at least we are managing to send funds for him and his family, to buy the tents they need to stay in, to buy food, to get the basic necessities that will keep them going. We managed to evacuate 2 families so far from my family, and they're now safe in Egypt. And I'm hoping that the borders will be able to open so we can get more out. But if not, at least we will keep sending them the support they need to stay alive, to eat, and to keep going. I know this fundraiser is for my brother-in-law and his 2 beautiful kids who have faced severe malnutrition. Khalil who's a very young baby and who's should be worried only about how to play, he should not be worried about where to find food. He unfortunately almost lost half of his weight so far. And because of the polluted water and the very polluted food and the spread of diseases, he got hepatitis. And he was really sick with the fever, vomiting, diarrhea, and no access at all to basic health needs. So he was only able to struggle and to suffer in that tent without getting any healthcare assistance. And his beautiful sister too was facing malnutrition. She was very sick, just like all the Gazan babies now who are facing starvation and famine in Gaza Strip. So I want to take that moment to tell you guys, despite the distance between us, thank you so much for everything you are doing to help my family, to uplift them, to make a difference in their lives. Believe me, they see you and they see your humanity. And during those very difficult times, this is their only hope. And please keep doing what you're doing. Keep taking actions for Gazans. Keep amplifying the Gazan stories. Keep talking about our families. And I hope this hard time will pass and our families will stay alive. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.